Hello everyone, welcome to GoldenNova's First Reacts, where I react first to all the things you want to see reacted to first, as long as I'm the first person you come to react to things first. Another Blazing Dominion card drop has just happened, and it's got some lore to it. The fourth chapter of the Medius storyline. Traditionally, a big high point, a season finale-esque release going on here. And given from this immediate picture, I think we're in for a bit of a tussle. So far in the story, we've had a magical academy that Medius has been attending with their friends, attacked by the forces of generative AI, and then right as it self-destructed, they teleported to an elven enclave, which I think the Power Patron there was, like, really super evil? Elvinotes didn't leave a big impression, both effect-wise and story-wise. I also remember being very confused as to how you even utilize their boss monster. The combo wasn't intuitive. But maybe this will smooth it over and it'll be a bit more appealing. We're also going to cover a lot of stuff that I've skipped over these past few days, so get ready for the catch-up because it's starting right now with Doomz 13 over Graflario. Okay, so these are the images that we have. We saw the preview image up at the top of the page. This Xyz is looking pretty cool. Oh god, but I'm a sucker for Dragoon design, so what can I say? Rank 5 Wind Machine Xyz monster, 2400 attack, 1500 defense. Requires 3 level 5 monsters as material, but once per turn, you can also Xyz summon this card by using one Doomz Xyz monster that you control, transferring its materials to this card. Okay, so if I remember correctly, the primary way that you summon the Doomz Xyz outside of just regular Xyz summoning is their effects, making them turn into wind machines of the same level. And that's a little difficult considering they're like level 4 and level 8 throughout. But this has a Chaos Xyz evolution clause to it, so there's no issue with that. So we can make any of them really, but the rank 4 version that's Medius, get all of its benefits, and then overlay this on top of it to immediately get a little additional effect. What does that do? Well, first, you can attach a material from this card to add a Doomz spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then you can destroy one card on the field, not your field, so this can be used defensively. And second, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon a non-Xyz Doomz monster from your deck or graveyard. So you can't reborn any of your boss monsters, but you can get any of your constituent monsters, all of which are pretty stellar. This is a great extension piece. Not to mention the fact that it also adds Xyz material to a monster. Man. I think that's relevant for... the effect of the big rank super duper guy needs an Xyz monster underneath it, which is going to happen regardless if you used, I think, the rank 8's effect, so I don't think this helps with that, but this is still a great thing for the rank 4 to go over to help get you more cards and get the ball rolling. Next up is Doomz and Adrastria. A equipped spell card. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, the first time the equipped monster will be destroyed by a battle each turn, it's not destroyed. Yay! Second, during your main phase, you can destroy the equipped monster, and if you do, special summon one other Doomz monster from your hand, graveyard, or banishment in defense position. Okay, the second effect. For some reason, I thought it was the first and third effect that were once per turn, so seeing that and not thinking it was limited was like, huh? Notably, it does not re-equip to the summoned monster, so that's you are permanently getting rid of the equip spell, which is a little unfortunate because many of them need the equip spell to do their own rank up effect. But third, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one face-up monster you control. Equip this card to it. Never mind. I should have read literally one sentence more. Then take damage equal to its level or rank times 100. That's not a big deal. You're probably not going to be equipping this to your big Doomz monsters because you're not trying to... This bonus effect here is not going to benefit them very much. Notably, this can equip to any monster, and you can destroy your opponent's monster to summon your own Doomz. Actually, that's goofy. You equip to your opponent, blast it, get a Doomz, equip back to it from the graveyard, and then it can do its rank up effect afterwards. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's fantastic. So not only do we get another equip spell, something that the deck desperately needs to work with, it was actually stellar for its plays. You can literally go second and use removal as a way to get your monster. That's pretty tight. Great additions to Doomsday. Holy cow. I'm very happy to see these. Okay, here we go. The main thrust of the Medius storyline. It's looking like he's having a time of it, folks. Let's take a look at our new cards. Videlium, the Power Patron of Chaos Extermination. What a name. What a Tiara-ass name. What a Sophia-ass name. Oh, goodness gracious. They've got orbs, too. Check it out. Okay, so is this like a combo of all the other ones? This is unreal. So it's a level 12 Dark Fairy special summon pendulum effect monster with 5,000 attack, 0 defense, and a scale of 11. Folks, I thought we were getting rid of pendulums. I thought we were phasing those out. We're bringing them back into the main line? That's unreal. As a pendulum spell, you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. You can activate one of these effects. Destroy this card, and if you do, special summon a Power Patron monster from your hand or graveyard. That's pretty good. All of them have been pretty tight. Or, destroy this card. Also, this turn, Power Patron monsters you control whose original level is 12 will gain 5,000 attack. So, if you can get Videlium on board, and you have one in the Pendulum Zone, you can pop this to make Videlium 10,000 attack, which sounds scary, but folks, Utopia's doing that by itself anyway. Any 2 level 4 monsters get 10,000 attack. This isn't a big deal. Golly. You know, having attack power used to mean something in this game, and now any dork doing an Onomot cosplay can pull it off. I mean, come on. Come on. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your face-up extra deck or graveyard by returning a Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz monster from your face-up field and or graveyard to the extra deck. Okay, so this has a very Sophia feeling summoning condition. I guess Sophia, Tiara, and Evita are all in kind of this hub area, though this does not have the same naming convention as Sophia and Tiara. So unless there's some other connection that I'm not seeing, this is not necessarily dual terminal canon, but I think necessarily is doing a bit of legwork there. This seems also really easy to summon. What, you put this in your Pendulum Zone, you pop it with the first effect to get it into your face-up extra deck. You cycle through a Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz monster, which you can send to the graveyard with Link summoning, so there's lots of ways to do that. Okay, so a 5,000 monster is not that far out of reach, and we haven't even gotten to the effects yet. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can add a Power Patron card from your... Wait, so... we weren't even done with the first effect. You destroy this, which puts it face up in your extra deck, and summons the Power Patron from your hand or grave, notably. So, you need to have that set up. You're not just drawing it from the deck. But, then it adds the Power Patron card from your hand, so you get to set up a new one, and all of them get ready for one of these Fusion Synchronicities things to do. If this card is special summoned, banish all cards from the graveyard's face down. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, goodbye graveyards, goodbye. And then it's all unaffected by non-Power Patron monsters effects. Still affected by spell and trap cards, but as far as monsters go, you gotta be in the club. Okay, that's very funny. Next up is Power Patron Shadow Beast Nervedo. This looks like it's supposed to be the fusion one. It's got like the cross eyes, it's got the spear thing. It's got kind of an owl face. Oh no, they're being crud. They're being Azominid. No. Level 10 Dark Illusion Pendulum Effect monster with 300 attack and 200 defense. They still keep the Karibo stats. Pendulum scale of 1, so you can they are in the pendulum scales. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, when a monster effect activated by your opponent in response to the activation of your Power Patron or Archmage monster's effect resolves, you can negate that effect and then destroy this card. Seems pretty pretty typical for good Pendulum cards to do that. Monster effect. This card is always treated as an Archmage card. Okay, so it is part of that archetype as well, so we can play it with them. First effect, you can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down. Destroy this card, and if you do, special summon a Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, from your extra deck. This is treated as a fusion summon? If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can special summon a Power Patron or Archmage monster from your deck or face up extra deck, except a copy of this card. Okay, so that's pretty good. So obviously, the top 3 cards of your deck, losing them to being face down banished, could be very bad. But for that, you get what? A fusion monster that threatens to blow up your opponent's entire board in exchange for 1 Archmage effect. That was pretty good. I remember that being a pretty good idea, and the issue was summoning it out. Now, this has to be on the board, though. That's the thing. This isn't like the Pendulum effect. We have to actually summon this. Is that easy to do? With a level that big, probably not necessarily. Though the field spell does summon Archmages from your hand, I think. And this is an Archmage card, so... And then it does go to the face-up extra deck. You can summon from your regular deck, so you can get any member of the theme or a Power Patron to go into a... And if it's another Power Patron... Oh, and these are Power Patrons too, so these might be able to cycle around with each other. Oh, frick, that's another way to get this into rotation. Or you can go for the Synchro or the Xyz one to help build up the summon of the big Vlidium the Dork over here. Okay, Power Patron Shadow Machine Zagredo. Look at, oh my god, look at that salamander. Level 10 Dark Machine, 300 attack, 200 defense, pendulum scale of 1 because it has to still be a Karibo. Pendulum effect. During your main phase, you can destroy this card and 1 Power Patron or Doomsday monster in your hand or face-up field. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field. So this can jumpstart the destruction effects of your Doomsdays evil in your hand. And this card is always treated as a Doomsday card. You can banish this card, banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon 1 Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction from your extra deck. This is treated as an Xyz summon, then you can attach 1 card from your hand to it. Okay, as I was reading that, I was getting really worried how they're going to handle it. Thankfully, the card that you can attach to it can never be an Xyz monster because it's only from your hand that it's being attached to it. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can add a Power Patron or Doomsday Speller Trap card from your deck to your hand. Okay. Pretty stellar there. Jupiter by itself is just a huge body anyway. Next up is Power Patron Shadow Spirit Junordo. That is an angry bird. An angry bird if I've ever seen one. Get them off of the mobile app store now. Pendulum, it's got 300 attack, 200 defense. It's not stating any of its other stats here. I forget what it is. They were spellcasters, but so this might be a spellcaster. I don't know if it quite much matters. Pendulum effect. If a Power Patron and or Elvinotes monsters are special summoned to your field while this card is in the Pendulum Zone, you can destroy this card, and if you do, draw 2 then discard a card. So it's well, it would be an even trade. You have the discard plus this going to the face of extra deck to draw 2 cards. But if we look at the second effect of this card, it does have one that triggers when it's added to the extra deck face up. You can add a Power Patron or Elvinotes card from your face up extra deck or graveyard to your hand. I'm thinking about this literally just now, but there is Pendulum Treasure, a spell card that just puts pendulum monsters from your deck into your face up extra deck. So you can trigger all of these fairly easily with that 1 spell card. Monster effect. This card is always treated as an Elvinotes card. You can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon a Junora, the Power Patron of Tuning, from your extra deck, and is treated as a legit synchro summon. And we already talked about the additional effect. Okay, so now there is a way to summon the big complicated synchro without much fuss, right? You scale, you find a way to get Nervedo into the face of extra deck. This summons a Power Patron from your deck or face-up extra deck. This gets you Junordo. And then you have its own effect to banish the top 3, pop itself, get Junoro. And then you get to add a Power Patron or Elvinotes card. Oh, you can just get back the monster that you just blasted back to your hand. Very good. Very delicious. And we're not done yet because we now have Unleashed Power Patron. Okay, so this is kind of hitting me out of nowhere, guys. Okay, for those of you who are not aware, there is the series that I do on my channel, The Living Lore of Dual Terminal, where I take the lore of the Dual Terminal and I try to make it more engaging and fun. And a lot of that involves inserting my own details. The world of Dual Terminal does not have a name, and I wasn't going to just keep calling it the world, and I wasn't going to call it the Earth, because that would be super confusing. So I figured Terminus would be a fun word to use as the name of the place. It talks about, like, terminus is like endings. It loses right here. Terminus is Latin for the end point, limit, or boundary of something. While I would not say that the world of Dual Terminal is a world of endings, because stuff keeps happening there. There are endings to particular people, so I figured it was, it made sense. And now we're seeing Terminus being used in a card that does not necessarily mean anything still. Like it says down here, Terminus is a term that has a history to it. So I'm gonna be annoying about it. I'll never stop being annoying about it. But I don't think it's exactly confirmation of anything yet. I need a bit more than that. Unless there's anything in the image that I'm completely missing. I don't think so. So I'm gonna try being normal again. And this is a normal spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, send a Power Patron monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. Then you can add a Dark Fairy monster from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot declare attacks this turn except with Power Patron monsters. And second effect, at the start of the damage step, if your Power Patron monster battles an opponent's monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard to banish that opponent's monster face down. So even though they have crummy, dumb stats, they can still now be a threat. This doesn't replace Pendulum Treasure as a way to trigger their effects. In fact, this kind of works with it, because we can send the Power Patron from our deck to the face of extra deck, and then we can send those Pendulum monsters back to our graveyard. Though notably, it does not say face of extra deck, and there are Power Patron extra deck monsters that live there natively, so we can just... Oh, and we would want to do that because we'd be sending a Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz monster to the graveyard so we can fulfill the summon requirements of our big, lanky god creature. So actually, we would probably want to do that. And then it gets us Medius, and that also jumpstarts the whole thing. Okay, Goofy card, and it's searchable by the card that searches Power Patron spell cards. Next up is Null Power Patron Realm Vidalia. What is Oh, wow. That is gorgeous. This is like this is the wildest metal album cover I've ever seen in my life. I need this in high definition quality. I need to ooze the details everywhere. I need to pour them into the crevices of my brain. What is this? That is so cool. Holy cow. Okay, field spell card. You only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, you can reveal a Power Patron monster in your extra deck. Shouldn't be that hard. Banish a card from your hand face down, then add to your hand or special summon a monster from your deck that mentions the revealed monster? Do they... Not these ones. These ones don't mention... I guess they mention themselves if they're in the extra deck. They also mention their extra deck versions, but this only summons... Oh, wrong one. This only summons from the deck, so we can't get those ones. Is this meant to turn our... To, like, get a Shadow Beast from our face of extra deck? Or not that one from the face of extra deck. but to like get one onto the field, I need to double check the wordings on some of these. I'm actually really curious. We can do a quick Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro deck search. Yabba dabba dabba, yabba dabba doo. You said it, Moby. That's what I'm saying. Whenever I'm confused about card interactions, I'm always like, meow, 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 meow. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation. Nerva doesn't mention anyone. I'm reading this, right? Reveal a Power Patron in the extra deck, yeah. Banish card. Special summon one monster from your deck that mentions the revealed monster. Oh, okay. It's not the card itself that has to mention something. The monster in the deck has to mention the revealed monster. In which case, we can reveal Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, to summon out its Shadow Beast form because the Shadow Beast references it. Okay, I now understand what this is meant to do. We play the field spell, and it trades out a card in our hand by banishing it face down to get one of the Shadow Beasts, and the Shadow Beast can then presumably destroy itself to get the summon of one of our extra deck creatures, and then we get an additional bonus. Oh, that's goofy. Second, monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack for each banished card. So anytime that you pay that cost, you are enabling this debuff even further. And third, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in the graveyard while you control Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction, and Junor, the Power Patron of Tuning. Now, it is and, not if you control one of them. So you would have to get the trifecta. I don't expect this will be active very often. If it is, being able to stop graveyard effects is very powerful. But if you've gotten all three of those monsters on the field already, that is already a victory, I think. Those effects are pretty stinking good. Okay, Archmage Impasto. Recapture. What is... Oh my god, I can't even tell what's going on in here because the colors are going all over the place. You can only activate one card of this card's name per turn. If you control an Archmage monster, you can activate this card the turn it was set. When your opponent activates a monster effect, banish a fusion monster that you control until the end phase, and if you do, negate the activation. And if you do, destroy that card. Then, if you have 3 or more different monster types on your field, you can return all spell and trap cards your opponent controls to the hand. And because it's a counter trap, your opponent's not going to be able to chain anything to stop it, unless it's, another counter trap card. Okay. So, you have to have a fusion monster on the board to use this, though. And that's kind of the big issue with it. I wouldn't necessarily say it's free because you use the card itself. The monster is only banished temporarily too, so that's kind of a bonus. Alright, well, we can't stop Moby from causing chaos. He has to do it. My little son has to be allowed to destroy all the time. Okay, this is fine. I think we can search this out, so being able to grab this just to have it whenever we have our setup is pretty cool. And it works with any fusion monster, not just the on-theme ones. And thankfully, Archmages, I believe, are proficient at doing a lot of different fusion summoning, even outside of its own theme. So I can see it being useful now. Okay, this is fine. This is a fine card. Not excited about it, but it's fine. Elvinotes Regina, which is appears to be... no, is this... No, this has to be an upgraded form of our... I forget her name, but it was one of the 3 student friends. She's got the guitar and everything. Elvinotes Regina, level 6 wind spellcaster, 2000 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, as a quick effect, you can send one other Elvinotes card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned to the center main monster zone, you can special summon an Elvinotes monster from your deck except a copy of this card. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add it to your hand. Oh, okay, so this is repeatable. We can clear out our center monster zone to have it take center stage to get its bonus effect, and it gets you another one. Now, because it's summoned to the center monster zone, we're not going to be able to summon that other Elvinotes to the center zone. I think there's movement involved, though, so we should be fine. This is good. This is just solid. High level, helps make our Synchro Monster, presumably. Good stuff. Glad to see. Once again, Elvinotes were so alien to me, I could not comprehend them, so I really do not know how this fits into the strategy as a whole, but it seems like something that would be very helpful, so good on them for getting this support. Okay, now we're going to the catch-up cards, things that I did not catch beforehand, or singles that I wasn't going to make a single episode on, because we would make the mid-rolls. First up is Summon Shock, a continuous trap card. First effect, each time any number of monsters are normal or special summoned, place a summon counter on this card, maximum of 4. If the 4th summon counter is placed on this card, remove all summon counters from this card, and if you do, send all monsters on the field to the graveyard. This does not stop at all. There's no hard ones per turn on here. Once you place it, the field is wiped, and then you just keep summoning. Okay. I don't know how to feel about this. So, if it's a trap card, you need to set this first, which presumes that you're the turn player, so you would be building up your board. You would set Summon Shock, and then if you have an established board of monsters, if your opponent threatens to start building up their board, you can activate this and it starts accruing summon counters, but then it blasts your own field. You are handing your opponent a way to beat you. Alternatively, you set this and you don't have a monster board to, lose to this. And then you pray to God your opponent doesn't have a way to out this as part of their setup. I don't know. I don't see it. I think this is one of the summon lockdown cards that I am the least excited for. Guess we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, so this is one of two. Spoilers. I did read this one ahead of time. Everyone was calling this the Monty Hall card, and I had to know. So this is not my first time seeing this, but this might be yours, so I do want to go over it because I think it's really funny. So, one of two is a normal spell card. Briefly reveal one monster and 2 trap cards in your deck, and your opponent randomly picks one of them. You look at the rest and banish one trap from among them. Then your opponent chooses one of these effects for you to apply. Reveal the picked card. If it's a monster, either add it to your hand or special summon it, otherwise banish it, shuffle the remaining cards into the deck. Reveal the card that was not picked nor banished, and if it's a monster, add it to your hand. Otherwise, banish it, shuffle the remaining cards into the deck. So, what's going on here? What is the Monty Hall problem? God, I can't believe I'm going to go into an explanation of this in the middle of a Yu-Gi-Oh video, but for those of you who do not know, the idea is if you have a series of options that are all mysteries and you're aiming for one outcome out of all of them, and you pick one, and then before anything is revealed, the person who has all of the knowledge takes away all of the wrong answers except for one, effectively leaving you with the choice that you picked and one other mystery option. They're both still mysteries at this point, but the one that you picked, one you didn't. And then asks if you want to change your answer to the other one. What's the option that you take for the highest probability of winning? And the idea is that you're supposed to change your option every time. Because whenever you made your initial pick, you had a 1 in 3 chance of being correct and a 2/3 chance of being wrong. So then you get rid of all the wrong answers and you now do a 50-50, but you more than likely picked wrong on your initial one. So you probably want to move to the other one because that's the correct one. It's not a for sure, but it is statistically your best option for victory. This is something that gets more exaggerated as you get beyond 3 picks. The alternative is if there were 100 options and only one correct outcome, and you picked one, and then the host got rid of all the other incorrect answers except that one other door. Now you went from having a 1 in 100 chance to getting it right to 1 in 50, or reversing it, a 99 out of 100 chance of getting it wrong. and then a 50-50. So you're more than likely going to win in that scenario if you change to the different options. So this card challenges that assumption because, or not challenges the assumption, it challenges if you feel like it actually changes anything. Because the reverse side of the Monty Hall problem is that your chances of getting it, of the one that you picked being incorrect or correct, has not changed because you've revealed information about all the other incorrect choices. The 1 in 100 chance is still a 1 in 100. The 1 in 3 chance was still 1 in 3. So, either you can stick to your guns and be all like, no, the one that I picked is the one that's not going to be the monster, in which case... reveal card. Like, the worst option is if you landed on the monster, because then the opponent gets to apply the... gets to special summon the card, not just add it to your hand, which is what happens if you swap it. But if you stick to your guns and it's still the wrong answer, then... I'm already losing my train of thought on this one. If it's the one that you hit, and it's the right one, then you're super punished for it because that allows them to special summon it. So it's encouraging you to change it because even if you were correct, if you aren't correct, the downside is that they just add it to their hand and they don't get the chance to special summon it. I think is the idea here. They want to encourage you to do the Monty Hall swap because if you stick to the same card and that was the monster, then then they get to have the monster summoned. I think the issue here, the thing that complicates this, is that the person who is making the choice wants it to be the incorrect one. They want it to be wrong. So I think that's where the issue is, right? It's like, or not the issue. That's where the ironic twist comes in. If you are opposed to the Monty Hall problem being a thing, or rather, you disagree with the Monty Hall's conclusions. If you stick with it, you could potentially be punished more. That's the idea for it. I think that's what I was trying to get to at the end there. We finally got there. Very funny card. Glad they made it. I want to include this in every deck. Of course, I won't be adding it to every deck. The decks that I will include this, though, are decks that want to have their trap cards banished because you are guaranteed to get a trap card banished, which I think Medius has at least one trap card, like it has a search card. So this does end up just being... This just ends up being pure upside for Medius decks, right? Like, the picked cards are like, if you're wrong about it, the cards are banished, and there's one trap card that's always going to be banished, so that's their searcher. So, congrats for Medius support, everyone. Okay, Heckahands. Heckahands was a archetype that I was very much looking forward to as an addition to the fusion pile. I heard it hasn't been going very well, though. Which is unfortunate. It kind of seemed like they were poised to be another powerful addition to the game. Let's see if these add anything to it. Heckahands Macabell, a level 6 light illusion monster with 1850 attack and defense. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand to fusion summon a Heckahands fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field, including this card in the hand as material. So it's just a polymerization. That's pretty good. Second, if this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by that battle, as they should be. And third, if an illusion fusion monster is sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. Okay. So, this is just a repeatable fusion spell and a monster material. Okay. No, that's great. That's a great enabler. Holy cow. Heckahands Dandalos, a level 7 Dark Illusion Fusion monster with 2900 attack and 3000 defense, requiring 2 Heckahands monsters as material. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls and take control of it. Oh, cool. Just yoink. It's mine now. You can't have it back. Second effect, your Heckahands Fusion monsters and your monsters owned by your opponent can attack directly. And if this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by that battle. But hey, now we can attack directly. Wow, that's fantastic. Holy cow. Just and like a lot of the Heckahands are just gigantic monsters anyway. So, oh, rather it's the fusion monsters that can attack directly. But if you steal a whole bunch, then those ones can do it too. So, I like it. And then Betal Heckahands is a continuous trap card. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, you contribute one Heckahands monster or one monster owned by your opponent to take control of one monster your opponent controls. And second, once per turn during your end phase, send one card you control to the graveyard. Okay. Okay, so notably, this says that it tributes a Heckahands monster or one monster owned by your opponent. It does not allow you to tribute your opponent's monsters as if you owned them. Rather, you have to have taken control of it to be one of the monsters that you can tribute. So you can effectively take one of your opponent's monsters and then sacrifice it to take a different one. This incentivizes you to play something like Monster Reborn, I guess, to kind of jumpstart the process if you haven't done it already, or just get your Heckahands on board and tribute summon those to steal. The downside is potentially there. You have to send a card. Oh god, it's a card you control to the graveyard. I guess this shouldn't give back control of the monster. It was an activated effect that stole it, and that effect's already finished applying. I feel like that's the place. I guess worst comes to worst, you start sending your opponent's monsters away. But Betal Heckahands might not see a big place in decks that I play. But these first two cards seem fantastic. Way to steal every turn, all the time. Grants great effects to your monsters that you have, and then you have a fusion spell. That's outrageous. I love to see it. This is great. Holy cow. Okay, Phydralis Harmonia. Okay, so this is a card that I really had to avoid because I saw like 4 people reacting to this thing as like a heinous new addition to the game, and I have no idea what in the heck this entails. So let's take a look at Phydralis Harmonia. 2500 attack, 2000 defense. It's got long flowing hair. Albaz, maybe? Oh no, it's level 7. Crap, no Albaz. Okay, level 7 Dark Dragon Tuner monster, 2500 attack, 2000 defense, is level 7. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field as a quick effect, you can reveal this card in your hand and up to 5 Synchro monsters in your extra deck. Apply these effects in sequence based on the total number revealed. Also, you cannot activate the effects of monsters special summoned from the extra deck until the end of your turn, except Synchro monsters. If you reveal 2 or more, special summon this card. If you reveal 4 or more, send one of the revealed Synchro monsters to the graveyard. And 6, destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. Okay, so it's not... This is... I mean... Am I missing something here? This seems... fine. Like just fine. So, you can potentially do all of the effects. Total number revealed... Oh, okay, this is why it's in a weird place, because you reveal up to 5 synchros, but it caps out at 6. This reveals itself. So, you get to summon it by just revealing 1 other synchro monster, giving you a pretty nicely sized body, but doesn't do anything else. If you reveal 3 synchros, you get to send 1 to the graveyard. I saw artists with a fro saying that this was the thing that would ban Herald of the Arclight. So, assumedly, you would send this to the graveyard to get a ritual search. Which it makes sense to me. If you are just... Oh god, is Herald still at 3? If Herald's still at 3, you can just reveal the 3 Heralds. And then... get the send and then get the search. And then if you reveal the full amount, destroy a monster your opponent controls. So it's like, it's removal only if you reveal a third of your extra deck and they're all synchros. And you have to get rid of one of them as part of all this resolving. So you can't keep doing this. This seems fine. It doesn't even negate the effect. It just possibly destroys that monster, maybe a different monster. This is fine. Okay, I thought I was about to read something absolutely heinous. This is interesting. It's not terrible. I don't think it's great. I think it's just fine. Die Broken of the Ghostlight. Level 6 Fire Fiend monster. 2000 attack and defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. Quick effect. First effect, you can banish one fire monster from your graveyard or face-up field to special summon this card from your hand. So hey, if you're running a fire deck, you have the tricky that you can pay from using your graveyard. Second effect, if this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up card on the field and negate its effects till the end of the turn. Oh, okay. So we can't hit something like a normal spell or a normal trap card because of how the chains work. Like, we can't respond to that card and then negate it because this negate happens on a separate chain. But if we need a quick negate during our opponent's turn because it's a quick effect, we can pull that off to hit monsters. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, you can set a quick play spell card or normal trap card that is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn. Okay. So if you used one of those cards this turn, you can reset it if you use it as link material. Okay, that's kind of a funky idea. Cool link support randomly for maybe Salamangreat will have a use for this. They have no end of spell or trap cards, or at least trap cards that they love using that would not be upset with having a way to get those recurred without using, of course, the myriad of ways that they can already recycle their cards. But we'll always take all the help we can get when it comes to advantage. This is pretty solid if you're a fire deck. I wouldn't say no to this. Okay, this looked adorable. Lahamu, the Messenger of Sacred Scripture. A Link 2 Dark Fairy monster with 1400 attack with a bottom right and left arrow requiring 2 effect monsters as material. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. First, while this Link summoned card is face up on the field, you can normal summon a level 5 or higher monster without tributing. During the main phase as a quick effect, you can activate this effect. Immediately after it resolves, normal summon a level 5 or higher dark monster. And third, during your end phase, you can reveal any number of monsters in your hand and place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw that many cards. Okay, so this is Dark Lord support, right? Like, we all agree this is Dark Lord support. They have a huge issue with having too many high-level monsters that don't do anything unless you have other specific conditions met. This gets them out of your hand by normal summoning them. It converts your monsters into a way to get them onto the field. You can potentially do it during your opponent's turn, so that can trigger some effects on normal summon. And then it lets you take monsters in your hand and shuffle them back into your deck to get better cards. So this is Dark Lord support. This is Dark Lord support 1,100%. And honestly, I'm here for it. This is great, and it's cute to boot. Solid card. I wonder what other synergies this might have in other themes. I couldn't say. Okay, Mimighoul Flower. I was excited to see Mimighouls getting support. It's such a cool little deck. Flower is a level 1 Earth Plant Flip monster with 0 attack and 2100 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field in face down defense position, or if a set monster is on the field, you can special summon it to yours face up instead. Flip, if it's the main phase, apply these effects. Your opponent can add a flip monster or Mimighoul card from their deck to their hand, and then give control of this card to your opponent. So any flip monster, huh? They've printed some really heinous flip monsters, and this searches them, but it also gets the entire suite of Mimighoul cards. So, as a way to get things started, I think there are worse things, though of course you need to have a way to flip those cards. And that of course still requires some level of setup. So, that's unfortunate, but it is still some consistency, so I'll take it. And then it's another monster that you can summon for free from your hand so that you can help make your rank 1s. Breach Boral. Borals are getting a huge update in this set, and that includes a new Link monster. It requires 2 Dark Dragon monsters, including a Rocket monster, so it's actually making you run rockets for it. Crazy! You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, if this card is Link summoned, you can add a Boral spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. One Boral card is a Premature Burial, so that should tell you something. Second, as a quick effect, you can target 1 dark monster you control. It gains 500 attack, or if that monster is no longer on the field, you can special summon a Rocket monster from your deck in defense position. So that's meant to work specifically with our Boral monsters. If they are targeted by the effect of a Link monster, they can destroy themselves to do a thing, and what that thing is different from card to card. Whether it's monster removal, column removal, looking at your opponent's extra deck and banishing cards, the Borals can do it. So it's worded this way because we essentially get to replace the rocket we targeted with a new one, and then we get the rocket trigger during the end phase because a lot of them have an effect where if they were on the field and they were destroyed, you get to summon a new one during the end phase. So you get all the benefits of the utility of the Boral monster while maintaining field advantage so you can keep linking up, because this does not have a restriction on if it can be used as material. And then if you don't need to do that, you can just boost a dark monster, give it a little extra, humana. Or if your opponent tries to get rid of the monster you're boosting before it resolves, then you get a Boral, which I think is very funny. So you want to make sure that that effect resolves if you can help it. This is fun. This is a cool one. And I like that it actually says that it needs a rocket monster so that it's not just any random dragon, though. I think the train has already left the station, considering that if you wanted to put this into Dragon Link, Rocket Tracer is already a very playable card in that theme, so c'est la vie. Okay, this is another one that I looked at because I was too curious not to. What is it? Dressalia, the Blood Tree Dragon Princess. Look, it's the name. It's the perfect name for me. However, despite the name, it is very much plant support. It is one of those non-archetypal, but still totally, was meant to be support for Predaplants. It's a level 1 Dark Plant Tuner monster with 0 attack and defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. You cannot special summon the turn you activate either of these cards' effects except dragon and plant monsters, so that's how it was getting the Yuri treatment. First effect, you can send 1 level 4 or lower plant monster from your deck to your graveyard except a copy of this card to special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, its level becomes the sent monsters. So that's already bonkers. Plant monsters thrive in the graveyard. They're like zombies if their health insurance had worked. And then Predaplants also have a number of ones that get you great benefits. I think Biblisp is just a free search when you do this, so that's fun. And then you can banish this card and 1 other plant monster in your graveyard to special summon a dragon monster from your hand or graveyard, so you can revive your Starving Venoms that were used as fusion material for stuff, or that just died and you want to bring them back. Or you can pull them out of your hand. I think because it can summon from the hand, this also has a great place in Akiza decks. Yuri's not the only one with a dragon and plant game plan, so keep that in mind if you are trying to play a deck with 5D's best plant player. And I think Yu-Gi-Oh's best plant player, now that I'm going over it in my head. So yeah, great card. Lots of overlap. Okay, this is one that I almost missed when I was getting all of my stuff together, but I remember people saying that these were cool online when they came out, and I saw this doofus here, and I'm like, that's a despot. That's like, it's not a despot, but that's a despot. It is Convex Knight, a level 4 Earth Machine monster with 1800 attack and 500 defense. It's got the 500. They're not matching, of course, but they're 500. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, if a machine monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. Then you can make this card's level become equal to the level or rank of 1 machine monster on the field. Okay, so it's train support, because we're getting trains. So it's any machine deck. any machine deck, you just summon this and it matches the level or rank of one if you just have an Xyz monster. During your main phase, you can send a machine monster from your deck to the graveyard, then this card gains attack equal to the sent monster's level times 100, and it also just mills you a machine? An Earth machine, so not every machine. What? Huh? That's bonkers. So in the context of trains, you can send a level 10 one, and this turns into a 2800 attack monster. Okay. Alright. Love to see it. When people said this was the best machine support, they were not kidding. Holy cow. Can't wait to get my hands on this thing. Northern Crossfire. Normal trap card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. So these are mutually exclusive. First effect, if the total levels of the monsters you control equal 10 or higher, add to your hand or special summon a level 10 monster from your hand or deck. Okay, so it's train stuff. Or, second effect, if the total level of the monsters your opponent controls equals 10 or higher, you can banish this card and one level 10 monster from your graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls and banish it. The card's name 10 references probably because the cross is how you write 10 in Japanese. Very funny. Oh, that's very good. So it's like, the fact that it's a normal trap card does kind of bite. You can't just search immediately. You gotta wait a turn to grab something, but you do get a level 10 monster. So a lot of train support. You're gonna plop that back into your hand or put that onto the board, and that's all yours. You get to keep that. I think it's funny that it has an additional graveyard effect just in case. It completely sideswiped, or is sideswiped by any Link or Xyz deck because they're not going to be adding it to the level total. But that still leaves regular monsters, it still leaves rituals, fusions, and synchros. So that's a lot of monsters that have levels, and spoilers, the good ones tend to have a lot of levels, so this might not be as far-fetched as you think. The fact that it banishes it too, ooh, that's some, oh wow, these are great. These are fantastic. The only issue is that the two effects on the trap card are mutually exclusive, so you can't just rush one into the other one out of nowhere, so yeah, hella stuff. And I think that catches us up mostly. There is one card that I keep forgetting to talk about, that I keep skipping over when it first came out, and that is the last card that was revealed for Shaddoll's Lev Shaddoll Fusion. I have still not read this. So sorry, everyone. Completely, as a fusion enthusiast, I feel like I've failed all of you. Lev Shaddoll Fusion. When this card is activated, send a fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Oh, okay. Just any fusion monster, huh? Just goes to the graveyard, including all the ones that trigger when they have graveyard effects, huh? Okay. You contribute one fusion monster to special summon a Shaddoll fusion monster with a different attribute from your extra deck, but change its attack to 0. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck when you activate either of these cards' effects except Shaddoll monsters. Okay, so that's a pretty limiting factor there. So we are not splashing this into everything. Though if you want to add some with just utility effects, you can totally do that. Okay, this is a fun card. You get to recur, like you activate this, and you effectively get to recur one of your Shaddoll spell or trap cards from the graveyard back into your hand. Being able to swap fusions, I'm not familiar with a lot of the newer ones off the top of my head. Being able to turn any of your Shaddolls into Shikanaga is fantastic. The fact that it changes the attack to 0 does mean that you can't just summon like Winda and then sit on it, because its defense stat isn't going to be super strong. Though notably, it is treated as a legit fusion summon, and they do not have summoning restrictions on them. In fact, a lot of them thrive on being special summoned in general, so, you know, you can just bring it back. You can just make Winda out of this, link it off, get its trigger, and then bring it back with something. And then it'll have all of its stats back. This is definitely going to take, this definitely takes a bit more thought to it than the I'm gonna pull the trigger on Shaddoll Fusion and get a whole bunch of value out of it whenever the opportunity arises. But I do think this is a worthwhile inclusion, especially if you can find some random fusion monsters that give you some extra utility here. Wow, okay, lots of stuff. Holy cow. Yeah, overall, very positive with these cards. Oh, I know Subspace Battle recently came out, but I could not find a source that had done a real translate. Oh, I guess real is kind of relative, all things considered. One of the sources that I frequent has not posted its real effects. So I guess we'll wait until a different point in time to talk about Subspace Battle. We might find a quick way to talk about that once I have more information about it. But until such times as that happens, these cards are great. I think the new Medius lore cards are all generally cool. I think the Pendulum Power Patron archetype is actually pretty cool, and the fact that all of the monsters that are meant to be part of the individual archetypes are scale 1, meaning you can play the big boss monster who's scale 11 and pendulum summon just about anything, feels pretty fun. And effectively making it so you can pendulum summon by way of the Pendulum Monster's monster effect, summoning out their core forms means that in a way you are pendulum summoning from the face down extra deck sometimes. And that is something that I cannot get enough giggles about. So, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Are there any decks out of all of these that you're looking forward to revisiting? Any new synergies that came up that you're interested in trying? Let me know down below. I am so curious what all of your thoughts on those applications are. And until the next time Konami drops some juicy spoilers, I'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye. Today's episode is brought to you by Dragon Shield. Get the sleeves as strong as dragon scales and save 5% on your order by using the coupon code GoldenNova at checkout while helping out the channel. It was also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including this month's illustrious Quasar Commanders, Upstairs Media, and the Critic of Innocence, Nebula Navigators, 3rd Dynasty, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Ancient Wizard, Andrew Newman, Battle Axe, Beastsman, Charlie Mercury, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Comrade Copperbottom, Eric, Frankie, Green Knight, Great Big Pillock, Groog, Hairbear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Carp, Marion James C. Picata, Meme King, Muse Clark, Neon Yami Nair, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Pat Boos, Rebel King Lucifer, Red Eyes Jackalow, Redtail, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sonic 21 Blast, That One Dumbass and the Wizard Moose, Cosmic Crusaders, Anthrak, A Random Pup, Blaze Rider, Blitzwolf, Brandon Guzman, Chaz Ghost, Christopher Fuss, again, Cool Trainer Dark, Dr. Entity, R.I.P., Eki Bullock, Edelweiss EN, Eva Padilla, Herbal D, Inblink, J.A. Flair, Julian Marquez, Kale the Dragon, Kryptonian Blurred, Lobomaru 02, Manga Pages, Millennia Asta, Mr. Machina, Natiel Lee Alexander, Nicholas Murphy, Not Al Gore, Obsidian, Rhyme Kairos, Rogue Wolf, Seraph SG, Shizuki Nijimura, Stephen Huntsman, The Legendary Raven, The Queen of Time, Tiger X2476, Tristan O'Meara, Zaldreka, Zephrath the Rock Thing, and Zentha, as well as all the lovely Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to help me in my journey to cover all of Yu-Gi-Oh's archetypes, get my videos early, be a part of these credits and other awesome perks, it would mean the world to me if you would check out the link to my Patreon in the description or consider joining as a YouTube member.